Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of trend lines. This is standard 8.5D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 32 off the 2018 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So Phil collects data from several of his friends about the number of hours they spent sleeping and the number of hours they spent playing video games on Saturday. So we've got many different dots here. And so take a look. Our y-axis here is the hours of video games. So the more hours of video games they play, it looks like the most is 8. Also correlates with the least amount of hours slept. So we've got like this 3.8, maybe this 4.1. So 9 hours of video games means you sleep less, whereas if you have the least amount of video games, so about 3, maybe 2.9 hours video games, you got 7.5 hours sleep. So it looks like all the video game playing is at night. It's either sleeping or video games. Those are your two options. So based on the scatter plot, what is the best prediction of the number of hours one of Phil's friends spends sleeping when a friend spends 1 hour playing video games? Okay, so take a look at what they're asking us to predict right here. 1 hour playing video games. So here it is, right here. So on the y-axis, we're looking at 1. And so we need to predict where that would fall for our data set here. Now you see we've got a pretty good cluster and you can see a trend. So we're going to use this trend line to make a prediction. So what we're doing is we're looking to see how is it clustered together. And you see we've got almost a path. Think of these dots as kind of markers on either side of a path, and you want to draw a line straight through. So I'm going to kind of start right up here. And I'm going to come all the way down through there in a straight line. I'm going to extend it. I'm going to try to hit it in the middle of as many of those as I can. If you have a ruler or a book, piece of paper, any type of straight edge, that would probably be the best way to do that. So you're going to try to grab as many of that as you can. What you're going to try to do is go in between them, except for this one right here that's kind of in the middle. And I got really close to that one right there. All right, so let's see what our prediction looks like. I've got 1 hour. Looks like I'm sitting there right at, it looks like 9. Okay, so it looks like I've got plotted a coordinate of 9 hours of sleep. Get you 1 hour of video games if the trend continues. So let's look at our options here. Well, F definitely gives us that 9. So that's a maybe. That's right what we predicted it would be. But the rest, look at that, 8, 10, and 7 are all very close. So I've got this 8 hours right here. And so you see if I were to do this 8 hours, I would have to kind of almost curve down a little bit. So we don't want it to be a curve because it's a trend line, not a trend curve. Or if I were to use this as a point and try to get back up in here, you see what I'm going to end up doing. It's kind of shooting out the back end and not picking up these last ones right here. So that's probably not going to work. Same thing ends up happening with this 10 right here. So there's that 10. So it would either have to curve out like this, which we don't want it to do, or if we do that 10, we end up kind of shooting out the back end on this way. We don't pick up everything. And then the 7 just doesn't work. I mean, that's just, I don't even know how that would work. That would really just kind of mess things up, and I would miss data here, and I would miss data here, or I would do a massive curve. So no, our original projection right here of this 9 hours works best, and so that is going to be our answer. If you play 1 hour of video games, you are going to get F, about 9 hours of sleep.